what's up, guys? Welcome to the next episode of Beyond the Battlefield, Stories of Mountain and Air. This is the podcast that delves into the diverse and compelling careers of Vermont Guardsmen. I'm Senior Airman Emily Sorrell with the 158th Fighter Wing. In this series, we're exploring the unique experiences, challenges, and insights of the men and women who have dedicated their lives to serving our country, 1 week in a month and 2 weeks a year. So this week we're here with A1C Natstassia Lapham. She's a public health technician over in the medical group of the 158th Fighter Wing. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here, a fellow New Yorker. We both commute here every day actually to go to work, which is pretty cool. It's about 45 minutes to an hour to get here for us.
Yeah, depending.
Yeah.
An hour, 15.
Super fun taking that ferry over here.
Yes, I love the ferry.
So, can you introduce yourself to the audience and kind of let us know a little bit about where you came from?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm Airman First Class Nastassia Lapham. I'm originally from Bolivia, and now I am a proud U.S. citizen. I have been in the Air Force for almost 2 years in October. My background has always been in fashion, both modeling and design. However, the Vermont Air National Guard had opened me to wonderful different doors and opportunities and gave me the chance to pursue one of my greatest passions, which is to help others and to improving the well-being of the Air Force community and to have a bigger desire to have the biggest impact, the positive impact in the country and in every action we do. I'm currently a full-time public health technician at the Vermont Air National Guard.
And then you're originally from Bolivia, right?
Correct.
And then you moved to Canada?
Yes.
Okay.
I immigrated to Canada before the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a contract that I had for modeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stayed there for the past 10 years. And then when I met my wife, it was a chance for us to move to the U.S. and to have the opportunity to get a permanent resident card. Mm-hmm. And through that, joining the Air Force.
Mm-hmm. So before you immigrated here to the U.S., you had actually previously moved to Canada from Bolivia. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey?
Yes. When I was 15 years old, I had the opportunity to join a competition, international competition for modeling, which I gained exposure and also gained the contest to be part of biggest agency in New York and also in Canada.
Wow.
And that gave me the chance to move to Canada for the past 10 years before moving to the U.S. And when I met my wife in the U.S., in New York, we decided to move forward to U.S. Mm-hmm. And she is also part of the Air Force, and that was my biggest motivator. And I'm here now.
That's amazing. And I mean, so obviously, it is very inspiring looking at your wife's career here so far and how she's honestly, a big cheerleader for the Vermont Air National Guard. Every time I see her, she's like, go Green Mountain Boys, which is huge.
I know.
So besides that, though, what were some other motivating factors into you joining the Vermont Air National Guard?
I mean, there's many, many reasons. I literally could speak for hours about this, but to make it short, many immigrants, considering myself on it, has always been a dream to start a life in America. Mm-hmm. Having building a family here, having a job, security, is the biggest goals for many, many people. The fact that coming here and having the opportunity to get right in a job here and on with the Vermont Air National Guard has been my biggest accomplishment here, or what I've done so far. And it's one of the difficulties having to start over in a country is that having the citizenship and the opportunity to be part of the nation and to also serve the country it's just outstanding. Mm-hmm. It's unique. It's very powerful and inspiring.
And I understand too. So by joining, you were able to become a full U.S. citizen. Do you want to kind of walk us through that process
Absolutely.
a little bit? Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure. So when I joined the Vermont Air National Guard at the time, we weren't sure if we were able to get the citizenship, but it got approved right away.
Wow.
So as soon as I joined, they sent me to BMT, and I got it through BMT. Once you graduate, you obtain your citizenship right then.
That's amazing.
So for that, it's like, that was a big shocker. Like when I told my family about it, they were all crying and they couldn't believe it. They were like, wow, I'm technically the first member of the family, of the generation of my family, who came to the U.S. and was able to do this.
And they must be like incredibly proud of you. I mean, you already were like a very established human being out there in the world, like modeling. Like you had a whole different life before you joined here, and that's just so wild to me. So like, how did you? I know you kind of spoke about how you got into modeling a little bit. Now, how did you go from modeling into like, I'm gonna be like in the military now? Like obviously, like we did talk about some of the motivating factors, but it's just so vastly different.
Absolutely. One of the reasons why I wanted to join is the fact that you have a different power, and it comes within having that acknowledged, and that like when you go through BMT, they break you down to the point of where you realize what really is important in your life, and what you are and what you bring to the world, and what you can give. So this, it's only applied in the military, I think. You cannot get this in other jobs or any other life experiences. Like when I was modeling, I had a different, people had a different vision of myself, of what I look like in a photo, but not personally knowing, or knowing the fact that I could give a lot more than just pose for a photo. It's rewarding for me to be here, and I'm very thankful for everything that the U.S. and the Vermont Air National Guard has given me. This is like my second family, and I consider it very, very close. And not just to give you an example, the day I swore my oath, people came from different sections in the base, and just to show up for me and see me swear and give me a handshake after. I just realized in that moment that was like the most powerful moment of like, I felt like a citizen right then, even before I got it.
Yeah, it's a huge moment for you, and you must feel like so much pride. Like, how proud are you to like not only be a U.S. citizen, but to be a part of the Green Mountain Boy culture?
Absolutely. It's been amazing. I feel this energy that comes from me to be part of this incredible community that is often supporting everything, every cause that is around. I love the fact that they're very welcoming, and they make me feel part of this community, no matter where I come from, even if my English is all breakdown. They're always been helpful, supportive, and they push you to grow, professionally, skill levels, like everything is outstanding, and it never ends. You just keep rolling and rolling with all this acknowledged experience and leadership, and the fact that they support female to be in leadership. That's for me very new, especially where I come from. And that is one of the things that I admire the most. And having to be part of now being that I'm also a woman, and I'm having like leadership positions and everything is very rewarding in a different level.
Absolutely agree. In my experience, it's like specifically in the VTANG, like I feel so safe as a woman. Like it's crazy, and like the amount of like power they give to us, like we're completely equals, and that's so life altering, especially coming from like a civilian aspect. So I'm glad that you also get to experience that. Like it's not just me. I'm like, yes, every other woman is experiencing this here.
Yes, and you see them doing amazing things, and they're not just here working. They also have families. They also have run a house. They run their business. I don't know. They all have different lives, and that's truly motivating.
So can you tell me a little bit about what it means to be a public health technician at the VTANG? Like, what do you do? What are some of your responsibilities?
Sure. Public health technicians do many different things, and not just audiograms. We take care of like the well-being of the members. We make sure everybody's educated in terms of job hazards and anything to do with preventing diseases and illnesses and investigating any sort of trends going on. Like when it happened with COVID, we were present during this time, and we do investigations of like what can we do to protect everyone and how everybody can protect themselves and many different sort of things.
Yeah, a lot of stuff goes into your job. I know I tagged along for one of your like little trainings last year when you guys were like walking out in the woods to like see how you could set up an area for people to like be able to like set up camp for if we like had to go somewhere, and that was pretty cool. Like I never realized like public health is there before everybody else.
Absolutely. We make sure that everybody have safety campgrounds whenever they go. In terms, to give you an example, like water supply should be far away from, let's say, the latrines for many reasons, considering weather conditions, things like that. So this is one of the main jobs that we do during deployments. Besides that, we take care of like all the airmen while they are in deployment, before, well, during and after.
Yeah, it's crazy to think how intermingled everybody's jobs are and just how crucial every job is on base. Because you never are like, oh, public health technician, like they're over helping us at the clinic, like giving our shots and stuff. And it's like, no, like they do a lot more than that.
Yes, we make sure you have all your immunizations, everything that you need to be in the location. We make sure the members have everything taken care of what they need while they are in deployment. And yes.
It's pretty awesome. So I got to ask also, like, what is next in the world for Nastassia Lapham? Because you seem like you've had, like, so many amazing things going on in your life before this. Like, what's your next chapter look like, do you think?
Honestly, I'm happy where I am right now.
Okay.
I love my job, and I'm hoping to keep growing with the positions that I have. We are evolving and we're growing. Public health is having a big step within the medical group, and our team is definitely growing to the good side. We have an officer now, which is amazing, Lieutenant Hall. We have new members coming in also. So in terms of like far future, I don't really like to count in the far ahead because we never know. We always have different roads or paths that brings us to where we are. So I'm enjoying the moment and the present of where I am.
So Nastassia, being an immigrant yourself, do you have any advice or words for people who are immigrants and that are looking to possibly join the Vermont Air National Guard?
Yes. I would say I never regret my decision of joining, and you're going to see the difference as soon as you step in. I know it's at the beginning must be challenging to get through the paperwork and all, but don't worry, the tedious part of the paperwork usually does recruiters does it for you, which I'm very thankful for. Thankfully I had amazing team working at the time, and they were able to guide me through all the steps that I needed through. And I promise you it goes smoothly once you join. Once you get to your final destination or your shop, life is different. It's not that scary. It's the total opposite. And it's really what you make it. And the opportunities that comes along the way with just being in the military are infinite. Like you have everything possible for you. All the doors are open.
Like it way outweighs like the idea of just like, I'm not going to do it because I'm so scared, basically.
Yes. And imagine you come into the new land and you have no job experience in the country. And by having already a military career, you have that path open for you.
Absolutely. It opens up so many doors for you in the civilian sector if that's what you want to do with your career. It's huge.
Yes, plus also building up those skills that are unique with learning new things also. It's just amazing.
That's huge. Well, thank you for sharing, honestly. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Battlefield as we discuss the stories of the men and women who serve here at home and abroad. I'm Senior Airman Emily Sorrell with the 158th Fighter Wing.